is going to end.
December 21st, 2012.
Mystery surrounding the year.
Doomsday prophets are claiming the world as we know it will end.
Basically predicts
That many doomsday prophets are claiming the world as
2012
we know
is
it
here.
will end.
Could this be it?
From the beginning of time, man has survived the Ice Age, natural disasters, and war on a global scale. But is humanity ready for what is yet to come? 2012 is approaching, and time is running out, fast.
This is going to happen. Almost nobody will survive this.
The Mayans, an ancient civilization from Central America, thrived from the 3rd to the 9th century AD. Known for their obsessive timekeeping, they created a calendar that ends in the year 2012.
The Earth as we know it will once again be at one with Mother Nature. On the 26th cycle of the calendar, the planets will align, and the Earth will be in the shadow of the moon. The prophecy of the Mayan people will be remembered, as man and beast frantically search for shelter. The oceans will eat up the land. The skies will come crashing down to the Earth. Swallowing up everything in its way. It will be too late as man unravels the error of his ways.
What we call the Maya calendar, that is interesting because there are still communities in Guatemala and Yucatan today that still keep the old calendar. And that is one thing that does seem to be pan-Maya.
Well, the ancient Maya were a sophisticated civilization. They were good astronomers, they built impressive temples, they had writing, one of the 5 writing system in the world.
They had a long tradition of emphasis on observation, and to have as accurate a calendar as they did, or as they do, they had to observe the heavens on a daily basis, daily and nightly basis, for many, many, many hundreds, maybe even 1,000 years.
The ancient Mayan calendar was so precise that it could literally predict a lunar eclipse thousands of years away. Could these ancients have predicted something dire, which in turn lead their calendar to mysteriously come to an end in 2012? Through the ages, end-of-the-world predictions have been made on countless occasions. Back in the 1500s, renowned philosopher Nostradamus is known to have predicted historical tragedies which many believe to have come true. Could his quatrains have predicted the London fire of 1666?
The blood of the just will commit a fault at London. Burnt through lighting of 23 the 6th, the ancient lady will fall from her high place. Several of the same sect will be killed. Earth-shaking fire from the center of the earth will cause tremors around the new city. 2 great rocks will war for a long time. Then Arethusa will redden a new river.
Could Nostradamus' writings be a sign of what is yet to come? December the 21st, 2012 has been prophesied by the Mayan civilization as the year when a polar shift takes place, which in turn could cause a global catastrophe. This is not the first time man has faced the threat of an impending doomsday.
"2012 is here. Could doomsday be approaching?" As you can see, there is devastation all around. The military have descended onto the streets, water supplies are running low, there is looting and scenes of utter chaos. As predicted by Patrick Gerald, in the last few hours, telecommunication systems have been going down and further disruption is to be expected.
NASA did a study and its findings are now out. We're not talking about global warming, a brand new government study on the very real destructive threat of solar storms.
NASA did give a very serious warning about a coming apocalypse from the sun.
Now this giant fireball, if that ball hit the Earth and its magnetic shield, it would be devastating.
They said that they expect a big outburst of sunspot activity every moment, and that can destroy the worldwide grid system at once, because the induction streams will destroy the transformers. Now, NASA said it can take years to repair this, and there is an official report from the American government that if this happens, more than 90% of all Americans and Europeans will die within 2 years, because if there is no electric grid system, then there is no water.
After 9 books and 4 decades of research, one man stands by the claim that 2012 spells the end for all humankind.
Ik ga u nog veel succes wensen, want u gaat het nodig hebben. Hartelijk dank.
The movie 2012 is based on my book, The Orion Prophecy. In chapter 20, I talk about the tidal wave from 1.5 kilometer high. In the movie, you see the tidal wave going around the world and even going over the Himalaya. Now that is impossible, that is too high, but it is Hollywood, of course. Should they have contacted me, then they would have made a far better movie than what I have seen. Because once the cataclysm starts to happen, you can't drive a car, you can't start it, you can't start an airplane, and in the movie you see that all happening. That's totally impossible. I have to warn humanity that this is real, that this is going to happen. Almost nobody will survive this. And if you know such a thing, what would you do?
I don't think that in 2012 the world will come to an end. What I hope is that a new era for the Maya culture will come.
There is always a small chance that a few people will believe you and that we can restart civilization anew, from scratch.
Louis de Cordier is the brain behind the Sol project. Described as a modern-day Noah's Ark, it aims to provide humanity with a lifeline after 2012.
This is a central dome, surrounded by several pods. Every pod has a specific purpose. Like this is a dormitory, the hospital pod, the entrance pod. Then we have also a greenhouse pod, several dormitories, a kitchen.
The Sol 2012 project is the same like like an ark, but then in the high mountains.
So this project offers a community the best possible construction to survive a pole shift.
England won't survive, Belgium won't survive, the Netherlands won't survive. Only in France you have a chance to survive because the mountains are there 3 kilometers high. But afterwards you have to come down and the nuclear plants from France will be melted. So is it safe then to survive in France? I don't think so. Where is the best place? The best place is in Africa, because in Africa there are no nuclear plants and there are mountains that are non-volcanic. If you are there at the end of 2012, you have a chance to survive. That is the best place.
A lot of people are preparing for 2012, but a lot of people have prepared for 2000. If you read some of the millennial kingdom literature, people have done this for hundreds of years. And especially in the United States, when I was a child, people were building bunkers for the world ending as a result of the Cold War. People predicted ending events in the 19th century and built bunkers so that everyone could live there when the world ended. There have been suicide cults before where the world didn't end and then everyone committed suicide because they thought aliens were going to come and take their spirits to another world. So it's not new. The idea that the world is going to end and that people are preparing for it is not new.
In archaeology, in the long term, in geology, the magnetic poles have shifted several times. And so far, we have no evidence that it has impacted life on Earth.
The prophecy from the Maya is actually a theory. It's not a prophecy because they knew the sunspot cycle. With that sunspot cycle, they were able to calculate a big reversal in the magnetic field of the sun. And they count down till the end of 2012 with that theory.
Now that the last cycle of the Mayan calendar is looming, the question remains, what changes could occur? The answer lies in a cosmic event that was predicted by the Mayans almost 2,000 years ago.
So everything that you see around here will be destroyed in 3 years' time. Nothing will remain. Makes me very sad, but I can't do anything against this. I'm living here now since more than 30 years and I'm very unhappy that I have to leave this place because of 2012, and I hope to restart my life in the Sierra Nevada in Spain or somewhere in Africa. I'm feeling so sad for these families that don't know what will happen in 3 years. But I'm afraid that at the end of 2012 it will happen all at once and there is no escape and really nobody that is here now will survive this. So I'm sad and I'm afraid that all the children that are here today won't have a future. I can't say more. I want to start crying, but it won't help.
Could nature unleash its wrath upon our planet? Could it be a nuclear threat of apocalyptic proportions? 2012 is approaching, and the answer could affect us all.